Late night, early mornings, DJBAX. This is the podcast. This is the conversation. Definitely appreciate everyone checking in. Long time coming, huh? Definitely. You know, and I wanted to get this kind of jumping, actually from the jump, you know, just more or less explaining what this is going to be about. And, you know, some of y'all know, some of y'all may not know. I've been DJing for a very long time. I'm definitely well over 25, coming close to 30 years at this point, telling my age and all that great stuff, but it's all good because it's all blessings. But DJing across the world, really. At my start so long ago, and then I'll go a little bit into, you know, how that start came about and the impact it made me want to do it. And then on top of that, kind of like the whole inspiration behind everything. But to get here today wasn't done, you know, just out of the, you know, something that I was like, oh, I just want to jump up and do it. No. You know, kind of thought about it for a while, and then kind of had some conversations. Shout out to my homie, my brother from another, Mr. Springs there. They call him Springtime, Rico Springs there. But, you know, and definitely was inspired by, you know, what he's doing with his podcast, you know, OWE. Definitely check it out. The links in my Facebook page, and was blessed to be a guest on there a couple of weeks ago. Definitely we'll talk a lot about that because, you know, that's the not just an extension of, you know, what we as brothers, you know, talk about. You know, his more or less as far as open up expression, conversations, things of that nature about relationships across the board, real deep, and you know, he has his own thing going, and I'm definitely support that. We're going to be, you know, he's going to be on my show. You know, and we're going to talk about this music thing because music is universal. That's the one thing in this world that, regardless of whatever, race, creed, sex, whatever the case may be, music is music. And I'm very, very much in love with it. And definitely a passion of mine. Something that, kind of turn around here, but something that, you know, from way back, and I'm a 70s baby, so, you know, I can go back as far as, you know, the Motown sound, you know, one of my favorite groups of all time, you know, the Jackson 5, that being a big influence, and then, you know, coming after them was, you know, New Edition and just a list of others, which I'll go deeper into, but just, you know, about the inspiration of music all around. You know, that's what I like to talk about, the music, the DJing, everything that's associated with that. Am I going to get into the tabloid stuff, the stuff about personal artist business and things of that nature? No, I have no desire. There's plenty of channels and podcasts and all kind of stuff that does that, and that's not my thing. I want to respect the art, and that's what I want to focus on. All that other stuff, he said, she said, I can go on and on about that, but no, I'm focusing on the art form itself. But just going back and kind of giving a brief, I'm not going to make this cast too long because it is intro. I'm still working out some things, but just talking a little bit of brief about what inspired me to not only get into DJing but just the music all along. Like I said, from my early memories, definitely being inspired by loving the Jacksons, the Motown sound. Going further into the 80s, New Edition, the birth of hip hop, like being there, during the inception when it was growing, and just remembering how many people would say, and that goes into a whole nother subject, but how many people would say, oh, that's not gonna last, it's just a fad, and it's gonna go away eventually, it's garbage, this, that, and the other, and here it is, it's the number one art form in the world. Hip hop rules, and it's transformed throughout, and it's still early. I mean, it's still, I'm not going to say an infant, but it's still, relatively young in the musical art form. And just remembering the beginning of that, being around during the golden era, what we call the golden era of hip hop, seeing it shift to where, remembering when New York ran, and now it's down south in ATL. That's where the hits come from right now. And being universal, going across the globe, from Africa to Europe, to Asia, Australia, just going across the globe. It's just amazing. And being appreciative of that. I mean, music has definitely been a part of my life throughout. I mean, there's songs that I can remember in certain parts of my life. And I'm going to get deeper into that as we go on with some of the podcasts there, because there are a lot of things that are associated with that. And kind of want to know, I'm really interested, and I love the dialogue when I talk to people about their musical preference, what certain songs mean for them. My goal is to get as many guests on as possible to talk about that. Not only talk about that, but I want them to talk. I know a lot of people that have their own business or whatever. There's a lot of people, and props to all those people that, throughout the years that have supported me in my DJ business. I mean, I met a lot of great people that I'm cool with to today, that have not only, supported me, whether I, DJ for their wedding, whether I DJ for their birthday party, whether when I was doing parties, they came and supported me at the parties that I was throwing, supported me at the clubs, things of that nature, mad love, and I want to get some of those people on, because everybody has a different insight, everybody has different taste, everybody has, a story, and I love to hear those stories, and I love to share those stories because, it's all about promoting that positivity, and this is something positive we can talk about. I mean, there are some negatives in music, and we'll talk about some of that, but for the most part, it's all love, and I just wanted to explore that. But real quick before, like I said, I'm not going to make this one long, but just real quick, just kind of give you like my little bit of history there. So like I said, been DJing for a while, and just my musical influences growing up, Jackson's, New Edition, Prince, the list goes on. Everybody in the golden era of hip hop, LL, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, Run DMC, oh goodness, Tribe Called Quest, one of my favorites, Public Enemy, NWA, obviously, Two Live Crew. I mean, the list can go on when I talk about hip hop. R&B, like I said, greats, Michael, Prince, um, Shaka Khan, like I love Shaka Khan, Mary J. Um, Golly, the list. I can sit here and talk about people forever. Marvin Gaye, um, Al Green. Like I said, I can go on days and days and days talking about my, musical favorites. But just growing up, being around music, the early years, my early years, DJBAX early years, were spent out on the West Coast. So a lot of West Coast influence. I can remember, my mom playing a lot of Roger and Zapp, Midnight Star, Lang Star, a lot of the funk, the West Coast funk there. My introduction to hip hop actually, from what I can remember, was from my dad, because my dad would play in the car Curtis Blow. And I know my mom would trip. She's like, "Oh, don't play Curtis Blow around," because back then Curtis Blow cussed. And that was like, before all, like now cussing is not a thing, but back then it was a big thing. You're like, "Oh, don't be in the car playing Curtis Blow, he cussing." But my dad would play it anyway. So, Curtis Blow, Millie Jackson, oh wow, all of that was an influence on the West Coast. But then I would come home because my family is from the East Coast, from the Carolinas. Shout out to the Carolinas here, the Rock. And so obviously big, heavy gospel influence, church, go to church every Sunday, church, Sunday school, all that, so heavy gospel influence. But then on that, back then, if I'm not mistaken, like we only had one, Power 98 wasn't around then, it was Big DM, which was out in Columbia, and we had to listen to that. So two things that were really, really cool. So Big DM, after a while would play like what we call secular music, which is R&B, which you get to hear, across the board with. But also what I remember too, being in South Carolina, every morning when I did go to school out here, well not school out here a couple of years, and I can remember every morning staying at my grandmother's house and my aunt and uncle there, their wake up alarm would be like more or less like a soft rock type station or whatever, probably just like a regular station back then. But I can remember all the soft rock, so I can remember waking up and hearing some Toto Africa, Hall and Oaks, Kenny Loggins, and Bruce Springsteen, and all those guys there. So, have a bad love for that because I heard it every single morning. Duran, all that stuff. And I'll go on about that in another podcast. But just, that musical balance. And then really, fast forwarding, really were a big influence when I was a teenager. I was in the UK, England, and wow, that was during the golden era of hip hop. So, and really, we didn't have nothing else to do. Shout out to my UK people, my UK fam. We're looking, wow, back in the mid '80s, late '80s there, and all those people, man, I still have so much love for, and get to communicate with them on social media, and those are my people for life. Like we have mad love for each other. So, and it's a UK thing. If you don't know, you wouldn't understand. But definitely, just I guess because we didn't have the immediate access to music as people did in the States, we appreciate it more, and so it made us listen to things different. Like God knows how many times I listened to records over and over and over and over and over again, and which I didn't even understand until later on. People ask, "Well, how do you know that song? Or how do you know each breakbeat, this, that, and the other?" I didn't have nothing else to do. I listened to the records over and over and over again. So I knew the breakbeats. I knew when it was gonna, break down. I knew when it was gonna end. I knew all of that. I could even tell you who wrote the song, who produced, because I didn't have anything else to do but the music. The music kept me occupied in that time because we didn't have all the things that everybody else had over in the States. We had 4 channels on TV that went off by 11 o'clock. So We didn't get to watch the Cosby Show in a different world unless somebody sent over a videotape. That's a whole different story. But it made us appreciate music a lot more, and sharing that music with my friends and everybody I went to school with, and just, amazing journey with that. So fast forward, coming back to the States, being in the military or whatever, being around a lot of different people, kind of continued to grow my musical appetite. Got my DJ equipment, ordered it from Japan, and I really didn't know that DJ. I was like, I really, truthfully, I really wanted to be a rapper. That was, if anybody can tell you, they'll B-I-Z, Busy B, that was a rapper in me, and that's what I wanted to be. That's what I was. And I guess still part of me is. I don't really do it, but it's fun. It's love, and that was one of the main drivers there too. I wanted to rap. But I did. I got my turntables and kind of practiced. And I think one of my first parties actually was in Charleston, downtown Charleston somewhere, and the party ended up turning into a fight. But it was a start. Then coming back home to the Rock, and did a wedding reception, and then it just kind of took off. And years down the road, got a gig at a club, uptown Charlotte. Some may know it's called CJ's, and kind of did that along with one of my homies there, DJ Brown, one of my favorite DJs there. Really learned a lot from him. Appreciate that, brother. And kind of just continued to grow, watch things of that nature. Started doing a lot of private events. I did everything, y'all. I was moving. I had kids. Diapers and formula was expensive and all that stuff. So I did what I had to do. So, DJ, everywhere. Anything I could get, I would do it. And the good thing about it sharpened my skill set, and it also built my musical knowledge, because not only did I do clubs and things uptown, but I also did things in the hood. I was on Statesville Avenue. I was at JB's, and we did it. I learned Gucci Man, Jeezy, Bootsy, all that. All of that played a part. So great time, and definitely helped me, like I say, grow my musical knowledge. Fast forwarding, did a lot of different events from high end, low end, wherever, and got to travel some, got to go around, did some stuff in Georgia, Atlanta, shout out to the A, Florida, that's my second home. A lot of great events down there with my Florida people, shout out to the Bay. And then bringing it back, and just having fun with it. So there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of things that are, that really, music brings out a lot of different emotions. And I want to talk about that on my show and get everybody's opinion and thoughts and things of that nature. So, like I said, I'm not going to make this show too long. I just wanted to do an intro and kind of let you know it is coming. It is coming fast and furious. Just got to put some more things together. But, definitely anything you want to talk about, hit me up in the DM. DJBAX 187 on the gram, and McCurry DJBAX Baxter on the book. Even the TikTok. TikTok is rolling. DJBAX CLT is rolling. Get my number, text me, email me, djbax187gmail.com, wherever, just hit me up, let me know. If you want to be on the show, let me know, inbox me, whatever, I'm good. I want people to promote their businesses. If you're an aspiring artist, hey, I'll play your stuff, we can talk about it. I'm all good with that. I'm an open forum, but my format is purely about the music and the things that surround that. One of the questions that I will ask every guest that I have on the show, and it's something to me, I always talk about it, is, what's one of those songs, because people have multiple, but what's one of those songs that is the soundtrack to your life? So, like, for me, I'm going to give one on this particular episode here. One of those songs, for me, is definitely I would say the soundtrack of my life would definitely be Tribe Called Quest, Benita Applebaum. If you don't have it, pull it up. It's on all those different musical applications there. But Tribe Called Quest, Benita Applebaum. Definitely one of the songs on the soundtrack of my life. Love Tribe Called Quest, one of my favorite groups. Benita Applebaum, the Hootie Mac remix, which actually one of the first remixes that does take the Isley Brothers Between the Sheets sample, but they ripped it. I love it. But definitely one of those songs that's part of the soundtrack of my life. And I'll go into more of those as we go deeper into the shows there. But I will ask all my guests that. So if you're going to be a guest, be prepared to answer that. So definitely, like I said, it is a vibe. I just wanted to step out and kind of, do a little introduction, put something out there, let you know that we're coming, and maybe a few more weeks before I get to do something else, maybe sooner, once I get everything going the way that I want to. But nevertheless, remember I said, hit me up in the DM, hit me up, social media, let me know what you want to talk about, let me know if you want to be a guest, whatever the case may be. If you got my number, hit me up. Once again, shout out to OWE, Own. Springtime, that's my man right there. It's my homie, my brother, doing big things on that. Check him out. He's on Spotify. The group's on Facebook, so definitely check him out. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I appreciate everyone taking a listen. Just for a second, I appreciate your time. DJBAX, late night, early mornings. Let the music rock. Let's go. Late night, early mornings. DJBAX. Late night, early mornings, DJBAX. Appreciate you joining with me. Remember, one love, let the music play, and I'm out.